So the movie I chose to explore for the Create Your Own ending was the movie The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. And so in the movie, Sandra Bullock is Margaret, who is the book editor of the publishing company that she works for, and Andrew is Margaret's assistant. Andrew is played by Ryan Reynolds, and Margaret is obviously Sandra Bullock. And so the movie is kind of about the relationship that Margaret and Andrew have. So at the beginning of the movie, Margaret is a horrible boss. She just uses Andrew and manipulates him and, makes her get him coffee, and he answers phone calls and kind of does scheduling, and he basically is just her assistant, and he only has this job because he would like to eventually publish a book himself, and so he's kind of trying to get his foot in the door. But Margaret's just horrible to work for, and Andrew doesn't enjoy it at all. So one day, Margaret is called up to her boss's office, Morgan and Woolley, and they tell Margaret that she is being deported because there's paperwork she was supposed to fill out and she didn't send it back to Canada, or she didn't send it in, and so she's going to be deported back to Canada. Well, at the same time, Andrew comes in, and in that moment she decides to say that she's marrying Andrew, because if she marries Andrew, then she won't be deported, because then she'll become a U.S. citizen. So Andrew comes in, she makes him step inside, and she says, "There's something I need to tell you," and then she says that Andrew and I are getting married. Well, Andrew, of course, is so confused as to what's happening, because they don't like each other. I mean, he hates her, and now she's saying that they're getting married, so he obviously is very confused. Margaret explains that she's getting deported, and if she loses her job, Andrew is going to lose his job, because the person who is supposed to take over for Margaret is not going to want to keep Andrew around. So she kind of persuades him into agreeing to marry him, and so the rest of the movie is kind of that story. So the ending I chose was my mom's ending, actually, and she said that the two would probably eventually fall in love. Margaret would publish Andrew's manuscript that he had written after they move in together in Brooklyn, and the movie would end that they both work in the publishing company still, and they have moved in together, and they have a daughter. So that is the ending that we chose.